Hi, sweetie pie. I have never seen as many good books in one place as we have had in this house, except at a library. Another one. Ready? This one looks quite imaginative too. I don't know, I haven't read it yet, but the cover and the initial look at it looks great. It's called Lizard from the Park, and the drawings are beautiful. And it's by Mark Pett with two T's. And there's a little boy and a little lizard on the back. They're just sitting there. There's this giant stone lion that's made out of stone. It's a statue outside of this museum or big building or library or something. And they're just snuggled in there reading a book. This must be a big library. I wonder if it's the New York Public Library. Lizard from the Park. It certainly does look like New York. Those tall buildings. Oh, here's our first glimpse of the book. After the outside cover, the inside. And this is a kind of a bright, crazy blue color. Sorry, green color, like almost neon green. I think we got a fun tail coming with a color like that. Mark Pett, Lizard from the Park. Look how cool the fonts are. It's not a common one, and it offsets the sort of subdued colors and drawings, inside. Here's the high rises, and here's the sort of page with all of the publishing information and the dedication for Millie and Cleo, who both love lizards and parks. And here's our first page. Like most days, Leonard walked home by himself. On this particular spring afternoon, he took a shortcut through the park. He has his little backpack. There's the trees. And there's Leonard. When he got to the deepest, darkest part of the park, Leonard spotted something. It was an egg, and it was unlike any egg Leonard had seen before. It's quite a bit bigger than the eggs that we see from the chickens. Leonard put the egg in his backpack, zipped it up, and carried it home. I think Leonard is the perfect name for this little guy. He took it to his apartment, which was on the top floor of a very tall building. In his room, Leonard and the egg played together for the entire afternoon. That's an imaginative boy that can play with an egg. What am I saying? Well, of course, you were playing with some eggs on my porch. Remember, we have an abundant amount of eggs here. Oh, here we are. They played together for the entire afternoon. He's reading a book to the egg and his dolls, or bears, I mean, and they're dressing up. The egg has a crown. The egg is a king. The bears have crowns too. And he has a sword. This is very cute. Oh, and Leonard is even bowling with the egg. Huh. That's an imaginative idea. That night, Leonard held the egg close as he fell asleep. I love these drawings. The way they're sort of subdued with very subdued colors, and then there'll be one or two bright things in it, like Leonard and his egg. In the morning, Leonard noticed something. The egg began to jiggle and crack, starting to move and crack. Then a nose busted through the shell. This doesn't happen with our eggs because they're not fertilized. They don't have a rooster. So they don't develop into chicks, but when they do, that's exactly what happened. It was a lizard. Exactly, not all eggs are chicken eggs with chicks inside. This is a lizard egg with a lizard inside. It was a lizard. Leonard watched as the lizard busted through the rest of the shell. Then Leonard made a decision. He named the lizard Buster. Leonard couldn't wait to show his new friend the world outside. So he goes down the elevator, goes rushing out the door, brings his little lizard out, and the doorman stands there, still and no reaction, as they're wont to do. He and Buster spent the whole day exploring Leonard's favorite places in the city. Looks to me like he's at a museum here. Natural history, maybe? This is cute. He's got his lizard. It looks like this little guy has a dinosaur or something. In the weeks following, and you saw the big polar bear on display at the museum, and the big dinosaur here. And the little boy with his cape, and maybe pretend dinosaur there. In the weeks following, Leonard took Buster everywhere. They spent their mornings together, their afternoons together, and they spent their in-betweens together. So here is all the places that they go. He takes his dinosaur with him. They go to a bagel place and see the big people moving about, looking at their cell phones. Wait a minute, is that a banana peel on the ground? Oh, sorry, that's not a cell phone. The man's eating a banana and he just threw the peel on the ground. That's rude. It's littering. When I was little, the banana peel on the ground was this genesis of so many falls in stories, or particularly in cartoons. And here they are on the subway. No, that's somebody else on the subway. He has his own little critter looking out from his backpack. Here's a man just reading. And here's Leonard with his lizard. And here they are outside of the public library with a book, and sort of like we saw in the back cover. He's reading a book with his lizard. Beautiful drawings. Oh, I love this book. As spring turned to summer, Leonard realized something. Not only did Buster keep growing and growing. Oh, wow, he is big there. And growing, but he seemed to be enjoying himself less and less. Oh, that's a shame. lizard's not having as much fun as he was having before. I wonder why. Meanwhile, the bigger Buster got, the more Leonard had to disguise him so he would fit in among the city crowds. He puts a hat on him and sunglasses and a t-shirt. But look how big he is now. He's way bigger than Leonard. He started out as inside a little egg. He takes him to a ball game, puts a baseball cap on his head. That's funny with the fans in the stands. It soon became impossible. Oh man, you can't hide a lizard that's that big. Look at the crowds of people and the one lizard sticking way up high, higher than the awning on this store. So Leonard decided to keep Buster in his room. Buster didn't seem to like that either. How could he? It's darker, it's not as bright, it's not as much stuff going on. Poor Buster looking out the window. After a while, Buster grew too big even for Leonard's room. Look at that, he's taking up so much space in the room, he's so big. Leonard moved him to the roof, though he knew it was only a matter of time before Buster would outgrow that too. Leonard found himself in a very difficult situation. Finally, he had an idea. What could his idea be? The leaves are falling. Remember, he found it in the spring, so he's grown quite a lot. He gathered every balloon he could find in the city. Red ones, shiny ones, balloons shaped like animals. He filled his entire room. That's a lot of balloons. I once put about 18 balloons or 19 balloons in your mom's room. But this is way more than 19. On the day of the big parade, noisy crowds gathered in the streets below. Leonard heard music. Then he saw giant balloons. Giant. See the little people down below? And these are the giant balloons. Way bigger than a person. Soon the parade reached his building. Leonard and Buster joined in. They came out of the balcony, I guess. Or sorry, off the roof. Or something with all these balloons. Yep. You see? There are these giant balloons. The clown. This bug thing. The pig. The sheep. What is this? A turtle? And Leonard. A giant dog and kitten. And there's Leonard. Not Leonard. That's Leonard, and that's Buster. But Leonard's on his head with the balloons holding him up. When they reached the park, Leonard and Buster floated away from the parade. And set down gently near the deepest, darkest part of the park. And that's where he had found him after all, when he found the egg. In the deepest dark of the park, there was the egg. And that's where they set down gently as the balloon sort of, they landed them there. I'm sure they guided it a bit, where Buster joined his family. Oh, that's too cool. He's not a lizard, he's a dinosaur. And these are the other dinosaurs. Sometimes Leonard still cuts through the park on his way home. See the tail of a dinosaur up there? And sometimes he takes a new way. Lizard from the Park. I have enjoyed these 2 books I've read with you today, my sweetie. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.